Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long while since I last even posted a video here on YouTube. But as this video, I really wanted to go out there and share with anyone, as much people as possible really. Today's video is titled 2023 was a year where I saw God move tremendously. And I'm going to give much more details why. I kind of shared about this story on my TikTok and Instagram, but I want to go much more in detail. But before I do that, I really just want to kind of introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Shirley Gamero. I'm 20 years old. I'm in college. I'm someone who loves the Lord, and I'm someone who loves the Lord, and I want to use my social media platforms that I have here, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, to really just share to others about Jesus as much as I can. And I believe that through my social media platform is where I want to do that. Many people use their social media platforms for many different reasons, but I want to use it for this particular reason. And feel free to check out my TikTok and Instagram as well. Follow me and just, I also post a bit more videos on TikTok as well. But let's get into it like always. Let's get straight into it. So I feel really in my heart to come on here and really just share the story that I'm going to share about. And the story is literally why I'm even in this type of setting. I'm inside a car. And this, I get to say, is my car that I share with my sibling. It's all of our car. It's a car that we all share. And I really feel strongly to just share this story with you all. A story of redemption, a story of perseverance, a story of how far prayer can take you and go. So I grew up not having a car. I'm sitting in one right now, but I didn't grow up having a car. Never. My dad had his car. He used it for work, and it was his car. He always used it. We obviously, my siblings and mom, he would take us to places, but we never had a car of our own, my mom and my siblings. It was very much needed, of course. Growing up, it was always literally, and I'm saying this literally, a dream of mine to have a car. It was something I dreamt about, and my family as well. Growing up in this neighborhood that I live in, I remember countless times walking, running to school in all sorts of weather, rain, super hot, super cold, you name it. We were there walking, especially running to school in elementary days, always running to school. That was my life. That's what my life consisted of. And I remember looking around, and I always saw kids, right? People with their cars. And in my mind, I thought, when will we have our car? And I'm saying this to the Lord, just in my out loud, when are we going to have a car? And I grew up like that. I'm 20 years old now, but I grew up like that was my life. And don't get me wrong, to be sincerely, raw and honest, I would get so frustrated many times with my life, with the circumstance that I was in. I wanted my life to change, and I wanted it to change then and there. And then I grow up, right? Go middle school, high school, same thing. But I remember when as a family of 5, as we started to get close with the Lord and get more and trying to go to church, that was another struggle. We didn't have a vehicle. So who would have taken us? We had to bug my dad. My dad sometimes didn't want to take us to church. He had his things to do. But I saw how not having a car was like this stumble block that didn't allow us to go to church, because if we didn't have a car or transportation, how were we going to make it to church? And our church isn't nearby here. We actually attend one in Northridge, the city of Northridge. So it was a struggle in itself to go, for us a family of 5 to attend a church. And I'm gonna be honest, I can't count the times that people have been so nice to us and have given us rides to church. So many times. I don't know how many times I've been in someone else's vehicle, car, with my family, and we're a lot. But there we were. But don't get me wrong, like it was frustrating for me to really witness and see that. But as I got older, my prayers began to change. I said, Father, I'm fed up this life. I'm tired of the way that we live with no car. We can't do anything. We can't go anywhere. Honestly, we wanted to attend so many Christian events, Christian concerts, you name it, and we couldn't because we always had to depend on my dad. We always had to somehow figure a way to get there. Our dilemma was getting there and getting back. It was such a struggle. That's all honesty. But this year was when it all changed. And I'm sharing this because this prayer that I'm in right now, this vehicle, I prayed for this many, many, many years. We always prayed as a family, Father, provide us a vehicle. You know our circumstances, you know our situation, and you know that we need a car. And we also wanted a car to bless people around us, you know. And this year was the year. This year was the year where the Lord provided my siblings and my mom a car. And every time I talk about this, it gets me so emotional because, like I said, this was a prayer I prayed since I was literally like 8. I'm 20. And God shifted my life like this in an instant. My frustration, my anger. Sometimes I'd be so pissed. I'm being so honest. Like, it got to the point where I was just so frustrated. I literally had to go around here and jog and go for laps to release the stress and the anger and the frustration that was inside of me. But there was one day I remember in those moments with the Lord and my moment with Him in intimacy and reading my Bible and just there with the Lord, I prayed such a sincere prayer entering this year. I said, Jesus, you know my life, you know my circumstance, and you know that my family and I, we need a vehicle. We've struggled our whole lives, Jesus, and I know that you know that. And I pray and believe that you will provide a vehicle for us this year. He did it. I'm sitting in it. And every time I sit in here, and I drive or I sit in any of these seats, it gets me so emotional. I just share that it was a struggle my whole life. That's what my life consisted of: walking, running, walking. That's all I knew, walking. When my brother and I, we wanted to head to the park, we'd go to the nearest park down here. Walking, running, walking back. Like, that was just such a daily thing. And I always said to myself, those who have a car don't know the tremendous blessing it really, really is when you don't have one. And that's when I realized something. Sometimes we don't see the blessing of what we have until we step in someone else's shoes and we see that they don't have that. And then we're like, oh snap, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? Because that's how I saw it. In 2023, the Lord provided this car for my siblings and mom. And it all began one by one. I turned 20 on January. Months after, like around April, my dad started to teach my siblings and I to drive. That within itself, it was like a big old, like, wow moment. My dad finally decided to teach us after years. And we were learning. And I was so excited. I was so nervous in the beginning, but excited. And then after, the vehicle came. And when I saw it, it broke me to tears, really, because again, it's something you pray for. Something I prayed for my whole life, like I said, since I was little. And I was seeing it. In that moment, I didn't care if it was a car of the year. It was a car, and it was something that I know my family and I needed. And I was just so grateful. My siblings and all of us were so grateful. It's a 2004 car, an Infiniti 2004. And some days, from the first times we started learning, and my dad then gave us the car, we would drive it around. There were so many moments where I grabbed the steering wheel and I'm driving, and I realized we're driving, we're no longer walking. And for my family and for us, it touches us really in our hearts. It touches me tremendously because, again, it was a prayer that I prayed for many years. And I've really felt like the Lord's heart, in the sense where, like, I saw you as a family and how much you guys struggled. But no matter what, we were going to go to church no matter how it was going to be, how we were going to get there. We knew we were going to get there, and we didn't want a transportation blocking us to go to church. And we were there. One time, we catch the bus to church. Sunday, turns out that bus stop we were at, buses don't pass during that time or day. We didn't know that. We legit ran from that bus stop, I don't know how far it was, to church, running, because we were going to be late. And I really, like, when I got this car, like, that memory comes to mind because I remember so clearly, and it gets me so emotional because I know that the Lord saw my family and I in those moments where I thought nobody saw me, where I thought, hey, everybody's living their lives and no one's seeing the struggle that we're in, and all these things I would say. But the Lord saw, and He doesn't forget. When I learned to drive, all those memories come to mind. I go around the neighborhood where I live in, and I'm just like, this is a dream come true. I used to walk around these places, and now I'm driving, you know? So to me, it was a tremendous blessing. It still is, and it will always be. Then after, I around in July, I do my permit. Studying for that, the written test, right? Boom, in one try, passed it by God's grace. And as I received this little paper thinking, I don't know how many people see it, but for me, it was like, again, another moment of like, oh my goodness, Father, thank you. I'm seeing door open after door open and open and open and open. And I saw that paper, and it was a flipping paper, but to me, it meant something. It meant my life is going to change forever. And then my license, the next month, in August, I got it. And I go, and I get this really nice driving instructor. And I passed. And I'm praying there, Jesus, help me pass. And then my license, oh my goodness, and when I received my license, that broke me to tears so much. I literally shared it on my Instagram, a little post, a little bit, how, like, what it meant to me. It really meant something just so significant in my life. from that point on, I knew, like, all those just memories, like I said, just kept coming to mind, because, and I was just in a car, just such gratitude and thankfulness to the Lord. And I even asked for forgiveness of my complaining, my frustration, because sometimes we want God to rush his timing so he can fulfill our timing, and when we want it. That's not how it works. It's in his timing, and he knows when. And this year was perfectly aligned to that. And I saw how the Lord just tremendously moved. In the natural, I didn't know how we were going to get a car. I didn't know how. I didn't know when. But the Lord, for him, nothing's impossible. For me, honestly, it kind of was impossible, with so many stumble blocks and just so much going on, and just how the flip were we going to get a vehicle. But the Lord provided it in such a supernatural way, like he always does. And now I drive with my siblings, and the beauty of it all is just, I have 3 other siblings, just seeing each of us learn, each of us get our permit and then our license is just beautiful to see that. And that right there, that was just my brother that just passed running, was just a beautiful moment. How the Lord really just, even with my siblings, I saw how we each of us, we learned together, and we didn't get our license together, because some of them, not to mention the names, are a little more lazier than others. My siblings, my sister and I actually got it somewhat kind of together. My brothers are the only 2 left, but we're all driving, and I think even that in itself, you know, I can relate with other people than my siblings who know what I feel, because they witnessed it with me. And it's just God's goodness. And I think for Thanksgiving this year, you know, we were just tremendously grateful for this car. We were able to go to this event that took place in September, Gen Z for Jesus, as a family of 5. That was like a little, like, dreams we had of going to Christian concerts, Christian events, to just praise Jesus and just be there. But we had the vehicle now to go, and it was a blessing in itself. So that's what I'm saying. And I think just having my siblings with me, and just we're seeing each other literally grow, and we learn together, and some of us got our license together and whatnot. But I just saw God move, and that's the story of this vehicle. And immediately right after, you know what's so funny, something I dreamt of, and I said this and I won't forget. I said, when I have a car, I said, I'm gonna put my playlist, and I'm gonna put the music super, super loud. And I always wanted like a sunroof. This car actually comes with a sunroof anyways. And I'm gonna put that down, and I'm gonna like just worship the Lord and just jam out as I'm driving. And I get to do that every time. You know, this semester for school, the fall semester, I did just that. I was able to just really, just even in this car, just have moments with the Lord, and just worship him. So I think really, even in this car, I got to live that out. Something small, I don't know, maybe to some it might be silly and a little dumb, but to me it just meant something, because it was, again, something I dreamt of. And I got to do that every morning. I cannot drive without putting on music. I can't. I need music, and I need Jesus just to be in this atmosphere with me. And there were so many times I'm driving, and I just feel his presence as I'm worshiping and just listening to music and just hearing him speak over my life. Music is such a powerful way, and for me, where the Lord speaks to me in the circumstance that I'm in. And there was this song by Red Rocks Worship, says Trust You. That song was a song that in my daily prayers I played it over and over again, because a song where it says, I trust you, Lord. And I did that. And I just want to encourage someone. The moral of the story is trusting in the Lord even when you don't see it. The Bible says we live by faith and not by sight. I came to a point of realization, I am not going to see to believe. No, that's not called faith. You just call your seeing. You have to see in order to believe. But faith is believing without seeing. It sounds so like crazy, but that's faith. And I saw how my faith has grown so much, and I pray over my own self that it's going to grow even more in 2024, because the Lord's not done with me. And I just want to share something. The Lord's also not done with you, and I encourage you, keep on praying. Whatever you're praying for, keep on pressing in. Keep on praying to the Lord, because He hears you. I guarantee you that He hears you. He has heard every single one of my prayers. This very prayer that I prayed for this car for years and years, He answered him in 2023. And He will answer your prayers as well. You just gotta believe, have faith, and the Lord will come through in His timing, not ours. And I just really hope this encourages someone. Pray. I have this bracelet right here that says pray. And another thing that got me through this year was praying to the Lord in my moments with Him, just spending time with Him and praying Him and thanking Him for my life. A heart of gratitude goes a long way. When I started to complain in my life, that took me nowhere. But when I started to be grateful and thankful for all that the Lord has done, I saw how the Lord began to move and shift my life. My life has literally shifted. The very fact that this vehicle is now ours, we get to go anywhere we want as a family. For our birthdays as a family, we get to go places we want to go and do things we always wanted to do. So for me, it's a tremendous blessing, and by far the greatest thing that has happened to me in 2023. And it might sound cliche, but 2023 was one of the best years of my life, by far. I saw God move, and not only that, I even saw God move in school, in my studies, and just so much more, but those are for another video. But the moral of this is that I want to encourage someone out there. Keep on praying. Keep on trusting the Lord. He's not done with your life. He's not done with you. If you just trust the Lord and fully trust Him and believe in Him, He will move and change your life, your circumstance. God's not done with you. He wants to do so much in you, but you gotta let Him in. And for those of you who have no idea what a relationship with Jesus looks like, it looks like just spending time with Him and talking to Him daily. Jesus longs to be with you. He longs to have a relationship with you, but will not force Himself in until you let Him in. And I encourage you, as you enter this new year, trust the Lord. Give Him a chance. It's not a religion. It's a relationship with Jesus. Christianity is not a religion. It's a relationship with your Heavenly Father, who created you and longs to know you and speak to you and so forth. Life without Him is pointless. Life without Him is meaningless. Life without Him, you will never be satisfied. This world has so much to give you: pleasure, sin, drugs, alcohol, you name it. But it doesn't satisfy you truly like Jesus does. Once you try Jesus for yourself and encounter Him for yourself, you will understand what I mean. Because only Jesus can get you through an entire year. Alcohol, drugs, nothing else will get you through. The world has this idea and many people follow it. But I want to tell you today that nothing in this world will ever satisfy you. But Jesus can. All it takes is one encounter with Him to change your life. So thank you for watching today's video. I really hope this encourages someone. And this story of mine is just something I really felt the need to share on YouTube now. And I hope this encourages someone. And thank you for those of you who've subscribed to my channel and just have gotten to see my videos. And I hope, again, this encourages someone. I said it like 50 times, but but I really hope that it encourages you to keep on praying and not stop praying. Keep on praying consistent and pray bold prayers. In 2024, I encourage you, pray bold prayers. Pray for things that for you may seem impossible, but for God, nothing is impossible. Keep that in mind. So thank you for watching today's video. Feel free to subscribe if you want, and stay tuned for another video I do. I won't take probably this long to do another one. But yeah, thank you and have a blessed day.